Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, before I start my new project, I'm just going to show you the pots I got. My wife got me for Christmas. I gave her a rough idea of the size I was looking for, and I told her that I wanted non-glazed pots. So these are the ones she got me. So that's a nice little kind of rectangular one. In fairness, she got some nice different shapes. She got this one, nice. Square one, which is kind of a bit different. I have a square pot instead of rectangular. So yeah, that one, this one, this guy. I like the colours of that one. And lastly, this one. Again, different shape, a bit different. So yeah, so it was a nice variety of shapes and all the good size, because I've got kind of like a few junipers and things like that I wanted to plant into them, so they'll be perfect for that. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year, and I'd like to thank everybody that's tuned into my channel for over the year. It really helped me out, and it's really enjoyable talking to people around the world and about dead trees and different things like that. So it's been really good. So hopefully this year will be as good. So we'll get on to today's project and we'll have a look at what we're doing. Okay, so today's project is going to be doing my Shire house. I went out this morning for a walk. My wife went walking, and I collected some really good, what I would call Shire moss. Got 2 trays of it. So yeah, I think we'll get started and do this. It's going to have Chinese elm planted in it, so I'll be able to protect it okay over the winter. I'll bring it into my shed under the grow lights if the weather gets bad. I won't be doing any root pruning to the tree. I'll just slip pot it into this. So the first thing I did, this is kind of the biggest tray I have at the moment. It's one of these plastic trays, and the house itself is kind of taking up most of the tray. So I've cut the house in half, so I can maybe do another one day with this back part. But for now, we'll work with this one. So now at least I can push the house back further. It's all going to be covered in moss anyway, so you won't know. And to have the whole house here just covered in moss was just to kind of waste space. At least if I have it here now, I can actually plant trees in behind it if I want to. Okay, so the first thing I suppose I need to do is go and get the main tree that I want to plant in it, and we'll have a look at it. Okay, so this is going to be the tree that I use. The house will probably be somewhere kind of around here, with the tree next to it. So yeah, I think it'd be quite nice, and we'll do a bit of work on the landscape and stuff. I may put another little tree here. I might put a bit of picket fence in, or we'll see. We'll work on it and see how we get on with the landscape afterwards. First thing we'll do is we'll get this tree and the house in position, and then we'll work from there. So like I said, I'm not going to do any root prune to this. It's only in quite a small pot anyway. I'll just release it out the pot, and I'll just sit it into this pot, and it can be happy outgrowing in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is build this up with a bit of soil. Now I have some extra large bonsai soil, so I'll use that for the bottom of it. Okay, so I've got a layer of this quite coarse stuff. It's akadama and pumice. So I'll put a layer of that in. That will fill it up quite well. Now we just need to decide where our house is going to go. What I will do is I'll put a layer of finer stuff on the top now, just so it settles in, and we can bed in the house a bit. So we'll get that filled in. We're just going to top it up to the layer we want it. I'll fill in over here where the tree's going to be. I'll just use this stuff. I won't put the heavy stuff underneath that. Okay, now I think the next thing to do is decide where our house is going to be so that we can decide on our tree. I'll take the tree out of its part. I think there's just one little wire holding it in. So just release it out of that. Got the wire there. Okay, I will just take the drainage screen off the bottom of this now. See the drainage screen there, so I'll just get that off. Okay, so I might just gently scratch the bottom just so the roots can spread out into the new pot. I don't want them just going round and round, but none of that should be enough. Okay, so now we need to decide on, first of all, our front of the tree and also the height we want the tree compared to the house. Okay, I'm thinking round about here would be the front, something like that. And now I need to decide whereabouts I want the tree. Do I want it kind of behind the house or more in front of the house? I think more in front, kind of like that. Looks quite good. Okay, so I'll just bury that down in a bit. Yeah, gonna scoop something. Okay, I think that's not too bad there now. So we'll just fill in around that. And like that. I don't do any work on the roots or anything because it's not really the time of year to be doing this. But with it being Chinese elm, they're pretty resilient, and I can put it in the shed, under the grow lights, because they do grow indoors as well, and get it nice and healthy. Okay, it's kind of pretty good there now. Now we have our house out there. I want to try and make sure the house is level. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now my next job is going to be to cover the whole thing in some fine stuff that the moss will attach to easily, because this core stuff, it won't. Moss doesn't really like attaching itself to that much. And we need to build this up back here, so we'll fill all this in and then we'll moss over the whole thing, which might not be easy, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so first thing we need to do is get some fine stuff. Okay, so here is just all my saved soils that I save, all my macadamia, my pumice, all that kind of stuff. There's a little bit of compost and stuff like that as well mixed in, so the moss will enjoy growing on that. So we'll fill in the whole thing now with that. This will give us our base then to work in. Like that. Now, what I will do maybe is just give this a watering now. Give it a bit of a soaking so that, well, actually, before I do that, we'll build this up. Okay, so we need to fill in this a bit. So maybe again we'll use some of this coarse stuff just to fill in the bottom. Just pack that in there. Like that. And now what I'll do is I'll mix some of this with this fine stuff with some more compost and some sphagnum moss, and we'll wet it all down and get it quite kind of sticky. So I'll do that and then we'll come back. Okay, so I've made up my muck mixture. It's good and wet, and you can see there's like sphagnum moss and that in it, which will help it cling and stick good. So I'm just going to put a layer of that in there. Hopefully we can get the moss to attach itself to this easy enough. All around the back there. Here. I just want to kind of build it up. And then we'll also try and get some onto the roof now as well. Messy job, but has to be done. bit under here now if I can. Okay. I think I'll just clean my hands off a bit. And I think I'm going to put a tray under this now because it's going to get messy. As I squeeze on the moss, it's going to squirt a lot of moisture out of this. Okay, so let's start at the back. I want to try and get stuff that is in the sheets if I can, the bigger sheets like this. I'll just lay that on there, push it in. Like that. Just keep building it up. See, we don't want to be using all our best stuff on the back. Use this stuff here. And maybe I should put another little bit of muck on here. Back up a minute. Just fill this in a bit here. Actually good moss this that I found because it doesn't look, this stuff okay, it's got a couple of weeds, but this stuff was growing on top of a wall and there doesn't seem to be any weeds at all growing in it, which will hopefully stay that way. Probably not. Now what I could do is make some pins and pin this in, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It might not need it. Hopefully it's okay without. Here and there I might just need to though. But as the soil underneath kind of dries a little bit, it'll kind of absorb and suck the moss onto it. Okay, so that's the back more or less done. You can't be seen anyway. Now let's just work a little bit more on the front. Now it's just a matter of putting a few patches here and there. Try and get some in here to fill this gap. Here. I was going to cut these imitation trees off, but to be honest, it was quite a job to cut the whole thing in half. And I just, in the end, gave up on the rest of it. But we'll just cover them like this. See what we got over here. basically just want it looking like the house is in the side of the kind of hillside. Now, when I'm going on the front here, some of this has got quite thick wood on it, so just use an old pair of scissors just to cut away some of that muck. It's basically just a build-up of dust, I would say, that's collected on the wall. And in time, all this moss will kind of knit into each other. Some more thin stuff if we can. Yeah, let's see what we got up here. Some of these smaller bits just to fill in the gaps. And so when it's settled, I may dig out at the back here and plant another little tree up here maybe. But we'll let it all settle first and let the moss all take, and then we can just cut a hole in the moss, dig it out, and then we can stick another tree in there if we wanted to. The thing with these kind of projects is you can always keep adding to them or taking away depending. Okay, just want to get a little bit over here if we can. Okay, so that's basically the house more or less covered. So now we can work on the garden section. So I will go and get my little watering can and we'll just water this, get it all wet. Okay, so let's give this a good soaking now. For now, and now again we'll just keep going with the moss, creating a little bit of a kind of a gardeny looking thing. What I want to do is kind of put it in chunks rather than run one big layer. If we put it in kind of smaller mounds like that, give it more of a kind of a imagine kind of little hillocks and things. And like that, once we've got it all mossed, we'll decide then on what we're going to do, and we will take out the bits of moss that we won't want. We want to add in different things. Now the other thing is, do I want to put another tree here? Let me go and have a look at what I have. Okay, so I do have this little blueberry bush, blueberry tree, and I was thinking as a little kind of tree just to kind of hide this area and break it up a bit. I was to put a little blueberry tree in the kind of garden there. We could prune it right back. It's not even wide in this, so just clear a bit here. Just have a look at it. Let's see what it would look like. I will just scrape off the liverwort at the top, on top of it. There's a lot of liverwort on it, so I'll just scrape that off. I do have a little azalea maybe I could put in there. But I was thinking a little fruit tree in the kind of front garden might look okay. Again, when in the spring I might decide I don't like it, I can always take it out and we could switch it for another tree, or maybe don't put any more trees there. Let's see. And like I said, we could decide to put more trees be at the back. So maybe I could put a little azalea, one or two little azaleas at the back of the planting behind the house. Okay, so what we'll do is just give this a little pruning back. And if I was to put it there, what would it look like? And it would mean having two trees. We could always put a third little tree here, or like I said, we could, I think in the end, in the long run, I will probably put another tree up here. But just, could always put it in now maybe, but let's just think about this one now. So we just stand back and have a look. Yeah, I think it just hides this bit a bit. I don't like it. But that bit is very kind of square ended because the pot could do it bigger, could do it doing that out here more. This will just hide it a bit. We'll keep it pruned, keep it small. So I will put it in for now. And like I said, we may decide to change our minds. Again, I won't do any work to the root, won't trim them or clean any of the soil off them, just cleaned off the liverwort and stuff. Now, maybe this way would be better, but get it in tighter then. Just pack that in, make sure there's no air gaps. Bring that back over. Okay. So just clear up this mess a bit. Clean up the ends. And we'll come in with a bit more moss now again. Keep moss now. We've got this kind of flattish stuff here now that maybe use in front of this tree. To kind of now like that. I might find some finer moss to make more of a lawn part. depending on what way we're going to do it. Kind of picturing a path coming out around, kind of like that. So we'll moss around this side. Got any weeds now while I can. Put that in there. And again, we might decide to dig this bit out, just have a bit of sand around it, maybe something. Another little bit in here. Okay, so now we're basically just ready for a path to go in. And then we can decide on what else we want to add to it. I might decide to put a bit of a fence, picket fence around. I definitely do think this needs to be hidden a bit. It's a bit squarey on that end. The rest of it is starting to look okay, I think. And yeah, maybe I'll just get another tree and I'll just stand it here and we'll have a look what it looks like. Okay, so I have another Chinese elm I could possibly plant back there when the time comes. I have this tiny little azalea. We could stick that in there. I have an elm tree here, just kind of cascading. Maybe we could put that over this edge. Have a look when the time comes. Just a little red oak here in amongst the weeds. Again, little gnarly little oak tree. We could maybe put him up there. Yeah. This one will probably be a bit big, possibly. I do have some smaller elms, Chinese elms I could use, but I'm kind of liking this oak. Kind of got a bit of a twisty look. It's quite small. You could probably slot that in there pretty easy. Let's have a look. We put all these weeds. Trunk a bit of brushing. Yeah, I think that would look quite well up there. I'll not drain the screen. And again, I'll do no work on the roots. The roots, to be honest, are looking a bit like they're starting to rot in that part. Staying very wet. We can get that in there. Don't know how easy that's going to be. Let's see. Pull this out. I'm doing it again. I said I'd do this in the spring when we just made our decision, but when I start these things, I get a bit carried away. I'm going to be able to get that in there. Flatten this a little bit. Tree might actually benefit being in here. Better drainage. Yeah, kind of like that in there. Just pack that in underneath it. Like I said, I will be protecting this as best I can now. Keep my eye on it. I'll probably put it in the shed under the grow lights. Keep it well misted so that the moss doesn't dry out. And nice days then I'll bring it out and I get a bit of sunshine without the wind. How's that looking? Yeah, kind of like that. This tree will give it a bit of a pruning. We'll let it get settled first. Maybe tidy it up a little bit. But I do kind of like it crossing over the path a bit. Just up here might be a bit tall. Okay. I think that'll do for this video. It's going on a bit. We'll come back and we'll do some more work on it. And maybe make part 2. We'll do the path and we might do some fencing and stuff just to add a bit of character to it. Other than that, I think that'll do for today. Just go around and like I said, when we're working on it, we might decide to do something here or whatever, and you can just pick out the moss and just do that. But for now, I think we'll call it a day on that and we'll do a second part for it. Okay, so as always guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. I like doing little projects like this. I'll just take it out of this and we'll put it on the thing so we can have a proper look at it, and then we'll see how we get on part 2. Okay, so that's it. Finished for now. Still not liking this edge, this square edge. We might do something here. I might put something, a little plant in here, growing out this way, just to kind of imagine something poking out the side, just to break off that square edge. I think we'll have to put something in here, which should be easy enough. We'll just plant it in there, coming out. I think that will come in part 2. So yeah, we'll call that one done. So as always guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one.